What if I told you that the decision for your next job might be made by an algorithm before a human ever even sees your name? It's not science fiction. It's already happening. Some reports show that as many as 99% of hiring managers are using AI in some form, and about 3/4 of all companies expect to get on board in the next year or so. That's right, the robots are here, and for a lot of people, it feels like they're coming for the recruiter's job. And the money proves it. The global market for AI in HR is on track to hit nearly $7 billion by 2025. This isn't just about a few companies trying out new tech. They're building their entire hiring playbooks around it. So the big question, the one that keeps recruiters up at night and makes candidates sweat, is this: are human recruiters about to go the way of the dinosaur? Are we watching an entire profession get automated out of existence? Today we're going to separate the hype from the reality. We'll show you exactly how AI is making these calls and uncover the one thing these algorithms can't touch: the human skills that are suddenly more valuable than ever. You'll want to stick around for this. To get why everyone's a little nervous, you have to appreciate the sheer power we're talking about. The rise of AI in recruitment isn't a gentle ripple. It's a tidal wave, and its first target was the most tedious part of any recruiter's day: digging through mountains of resumes. For decades, this was a manual, soul-crushing job. A recruiter, powered by coffee and sheer determination, would spend days staring at a screen, their eyes glazing over, hunting for the right keywords in a sea of PDFs. Enter AI. Today's applicant tracking systems, or ATS, don't just scan for keywords. They use slick natural language processing and machine learning to understand context, figure out skills, and analyze experience with stunning precision. They can get through 1,000 resumes in the time it takes a human to read 5. The results? Companies that use these tools report they can slash their hiring time by a whopping 30% to 50%. But it's not just about resumes. AI-driven chatbots are now the first point of contact for applicants at many companies. They answer questions instantly, walk you through the application, and even schedule your interviews. This is a huge plus for the candidate experience because it helps eliminate that dreaded application black hole where you send a resume and hear nothing but silence for weeks. And then there are the interviews. Companies like HireVue are using AI to analyze video interviews, assessing a candidate's tone, word choice, and even facial expressions for clues about their communication style. Other platforms use gamified tests to measure soft skills like problem-solving and creativity, giving them a richer picture than a resume ever could. And maybe the most mind-bending part, AI is getting into fortune-telling. It analyzes past hiring data to predict which candidates are most likely to succeed and even which current employees might be looking for the door, giving companies a chance to step in before it's too late. When a single piece of tech can source, screen, schedule, analyze, and predict with this kind of speed, the question of whether a human is still needed starts to feel less like a debate and more like a countdown. All that efficiency looks great on a company's balance sheet, but on the other side of that algorithm is a person, a job applicant, and for them, this new world can feel cold, confusing, and just plain unfair. Candidates worry about being boiled down to a handful of keywords, their unique stories and unconventional career paths tossed aside by a machine that wasn't programmed to get it. In fact, some surveys show that up to half of all job seekers are wary of applying to companies that rely too heavily on AI to make the final call. Let's think about a candidate named Maria. She's a brilliant project manager who started in nonprofits, then moved into event planning, where she ran massive international conferences. Now, she wants to shift into tech. Her resume doesn't have the buzzwords the AI is looking for, like agile or SaaS. A human recruiter, though, would see the pattern. They'd know that running a global conference for 10,000 people takes world-class project management, communication, and budget skills that transfer directly to a tech product launch. The human sees potential. The algorithm, too often, just sees a mismatch. The AI might accidentally screen out a fantastic candidate like Maria, a problem that even many organizations admit their systems struggle with. This is the black box problem. When an applicant gets rejected, they have no idea why. Was it their experience? A missing keyword? This lack of transparency can destroy trust and leave people feeling helpless against a system they can't reason with. But there's a risk even bigger than missing out on a great candidate, accidentally putting discrimination on autopilot. This is the great paradox of AI in hiring. It's supposed to reduce bias, but AI models learn from the data we give them. If that data reflects decades of biased hiring, favoring people from certain schools, zip codes, or backgrounds, the AI will learn those same biases and apply them with brutal efficiency. An algorithm doesn't have a conscience. It won't ask if its choices are fair. It will just run its code, creating a system of automated discrimination that's harder to spot and even harder to fix. We've seen the power and the pitfalls of AI in hiring, but what does this all mean for the recruiters themselves? Before we get to the future of the profession, I want to hear from you. Have you ever applied for a job and just knew you were dealing with an AI? What was that like? Drop your story in the comments below. And if you're finding this useful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss where we go next. So, is it game over for the human recruiter? Is it time for them to pack it in and learn to code? Not so fast. The consensus from experts everywhere, from MIT to Deloitte, is a big fat no. AI won't replace recruiters. It will reboot their jobs. The best analogy is that AI is becoming the ultimate co-pilot. It handles the routine, data-crunching tasks, but the human is still the pilot. The AI can fly the plane on autopilot, but you still need a person for takeoff, landing, and navigating any unexpected turbulence. Why? Because for all its power, AI is great at analytics, but it's terrible at being human. The job of a recruiter was never just about matching words on a page. It's a profession built on relationships, empathy, and judgment, things you just can't program. Let's break down what the machine can't do. First, there's empathy and emotional intelligence. Think about it. A great recruiter doesn't just screen candidates. They build trust. They can hear the hesitation in someone's voice and understand their real career goals, their fears about making a change, or their family needs. No one is going to pour their heart out to a chatbot. Then there's strategic judgment. One of the toughest parts of hiring is figuring out cultural fit. Will this person thrive in a chaotic startup, or do they need a more structured environment? An AI can crunch data, but it can't sit in a room and feel the energy. A strategic recruiter is also a consultant. They don't just fill orders, they challenge a hiring manager's assumptions and help them build a stronger team. And finally, you have the art of the deal. The best candidates almost always have other offers. A recruiter's job is to sell the company's vision and handle the delicate dance of negotiation. That's a deeply human skill. So while AI is taking over the transactional chores, it's freeing up people to focus on the transformational work. The future isn't a world without recruiters. It's a world where they're no longer buried in paperwork and can focus on what actually matters, the people. Because AI is the new co-pilot, the recruiter's job description is getting a major rewrite. The recruiter of the past was an administrator. The recruiter of the future is part strategist, part tech wizard, and part human experience guru, all rolled into one. This isn't about job loss, it's about the job evolving into something way more valuable. This new breed of recruiter doesn't see AI as a threat. They see it as a superpower. Their job is no longer to find a needle in a haystack. It's to tell the AI how to build a better magnet. First, they're becoming data-literate consultants. Instead of just handing over a list of candidates, they bring data-driven insights to the table. They use analytics to tell hiring managers what's happening in the market, spot skill gaps, and build smarter hiring plans. Second, they're becoming AI system managers. This means knowing how the algorithms work, when to trust them, and most importantly, when to override them. They are the ones responsible for training the AI to be less biased and more effective, acting as the essential human in the loop. And third, they are becoming candidate experience architects. With AI handling the scheduling, recruiters can focus on the high-touch moments. That means more time for real conversations, giving helpful feedback, and being a genuine advocate for the candidate. In a world where it's easy to feel like just another number, a recruiter who provides a truly human experience is a massive competitive advantage. Think of it like this. Instead of spending 30 hours screening 1,000 resumes, a recruiter now spends 1 hour reviewing the top 15 candidates surfaced by AI. They spend the other 29 hours having deep conversations with those people, building relationships, and making a truly informed decision. Their role isn't smaller, it's bigger and more strategic. Looking ahead, the partnership between humans and machines in hiring is only going to get stronger. The tech will get smarter, and AI will likely handle even more of the process on its own. But as its power grows, so does the need for human wisdom and ethical oversight. The future of hiring is a hybrid model. AI will handle the speed and the data. Humans will provide the strategy, the empathy, and the final judgment call. They'll be the guardians of the process, making sure fairness and the human touch are always at the center of the decision. This partnership promises a better world for everyone. Companies get better hires faster, candidates get a more responsive and transparent process, and recruiters are freed from the boring stuff to do more meaningful, strategic, and fulfilling work. So let's go back to that big, scary question. Is AI replacing recruitment? The answer is no, but it is changing the game completely. The fear of being replaced comes from a deep misunderstanding of what a recruiter actually does. If a recruiter's job was only to match keywords on a resume, then yeah, that job is already gone. But it was never just that. AI is taking over the science of recruitment, the data, the patterns, the scheduling. This is freeing up humans to finally master the art of recruitment, the relationships, the strategy, the empathy, and the gut calls that no algorithm can make. The robots aren't taking the recruiter's job, they're taking their paperwork, and in doing so, they're making the human element more critical than ever. The recruiters who fight this change will get left behind. But the recruiters who learn to fly with their new AI co-pilot won't just survive. They'll thrive, becoming the strategic talent partners who will build the companies of tomorrow. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to check out our other video on the future of work and AI's role in it. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop our next one. Thanks for watching.